Last Brother Siemens here. Welcome to week 4. You don't know it, but this is take 2. I didn't like how that first take ended up, and you're never going to see it. But hopefully this one's better. This is a pretty. Hopefully you'll get into the flow of even weeks and odd weeks. This is an even week. It's week 4. And so, you'll have this submission of your family home evening report. You'll have a discussion board. You'll do your study report. And so assignments-wise, it's kind of light, and the reading's great. You're finishing up First Nephi. But the family home evening report is just an opportunity for you to report back. You've made an outline a couple weeks ago, and you should have taken the opportunity to teach a family member or friends or someone, and this is just a report. So please download the template, fill out each form. For as much as I try to encourage you to remember to follow the instructions and to do what's asked, there's still individuals that are not turning it in. And it's sad because, I can't give you points for something you haven't done. It would not be fair for those that have done it. And you're doing great work. You just are doing incomplete work. So if you just follow those instructions, do what's asked, things are golden. With your discussion board this week, I do just have to say, give you some praise from a couple weeks ago. I finally was able to grade that discussion board and are all done, and I was so impressed. So many of you posted early, you posted before midweek, and you supported one another, and you supported your own thoughts with Scripture, and that was just so good to see. As a teacher, you're always looking for ways to praise your class, and this is legitimate praise. This was one of the better discussion boards I've ever seen in the last few years, to see that you were there and you were supportive, and you had feelings and thoughts, and you backed them up with Scripture or words of the prophets, and that's wonderful. And you did great, and so I'm excited for this next discussion board. You probably didn't see me at all in your last discussion board, and that was kind of by choice. I wanted you to be able to do things on your own, but not this one. I'm going to dive in. I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to enjoy it, and hopefully we can learn together. So with the last little bit of time, as you think about what you're doing here, finishing up the first book of Nephi, it's a wonderful end. Nephi's been testifying of what he's willing to do, of being obedient, and that God provides means for us to be able to accomplish the things that need to be done. And you'll see more of that in these chapters. So chapter 15 and 16, Nephi comes out of seeing the vision of the tree of life, and he sees his brothers, arguing and not understanding. And Nephi's like, well, why are we arguing? And can you imagine just watching in a vision the destruction of your people by your brothers? And then you come out of this vision, and they're over there arguing, and you're just like, oh, brothers, why? Why are you doing this? But he doesn't say that. He just, they're like, God doesn't reveal these things to us. And he's like, you know why? It's because you're not obedient, right? You're not doing what you're supposed to. And so it's a wonderful testimony of if you're obedient, then God will reveal. But anyways, Nephi teaches, and he tries to help them understand. Teaches a little bit more about, fiery darts and rods of iron and mists of darkness and rivers. And so a little bit more commentary on that. But 17 is one of my favorite chapters in First Nephi. If you look at verse 3 of chapter 17, it's very similar to First Nephi 3:7. You'll see there he talks about, I'm going to be obedient and we're going to accomplish things. But what he adds here in chapter 17 is he says here that if we keep commandments, he says we'll be nourished, we'll be strengthened, and a means will be provided. What a great testimony. Nephi says, I'm going to be obedient, right? Because I know he provides a way, but I also know he gives me power, he gives me nourishment, he gives me strength. Those are cool words. Now, right after he says that, God's like, oh, you're right. I'm glad you realized that I'm going to help you. Go build a boat, right? So Nephi's like, I can do this, and he's going to make me stronger. And so God gives him something else to prove himself. So he builds a boat. And at the end of chapter 17, I love verse 50. I love verse 50. So you read it yourself, because I only have 18 seconds. But here's why I love it. Nephi knows that if he was to command the water to be earth, it would be earth. And he could walk to the promised land. But God hasn't commanded him to do that. He's commanded him to build a boat. So what does he do? He builds a boat.